Okay,
Call the order, the village board meeting here at the village hall on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025 at 6:31.
mhm.
Roll call, please.
Sure. I've got President Gerke,
Here.
Trustee Moonen,
Here.
Trustee Baum,
Here.
Administrator Green,
Here.
and Clerk Capazzo to record the minutes. Trustees Quinn and Beal are absent and excused.
Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There's no one on Zoom.
No one present on Zoom.
James, do you have anything you want to say at this point? This is citizen comments? I assume not. All right. Move on to consent agenda then. Is there a motion to take all these items together or one we wish to pull off?
Just a note about item C, the election and inspector appointments. That does include all of the nominees from each of the parties. I do have those listings if any of you want to take a look at them.
I saw the one list.
Yeah, I've
I
got
don't
them
have
right
any, I'm assuming it's all, I'm fine with it. All right, so we'll make a motion.
I could, question for the clerk is on F is the Lake Country. Presenting the budget to us, or are we just approving it to give back to them?
Approving it to give back to them.
Then you've worked with them and on
Yeah, we
that,
had,
you've gone to those meetings.
we had our annual meeting 3 weeks ago, so they went over the budget with us, over raises, and everything else, and then we approved that back to the committee.
You want to call that one off or you want
I thought they usually come and present to us.
Really?
They haven't the last few
Never.
years.
to?
Judge Cahill come in every once in a while and speak, but not always in relation to the budget.
I can't speak recently, but they had previously, I mean, years and years ago.
Mhm.
Um,
Did you want me to reach out to Kay and see if we can come speak at a meeting or?
I'm not going to pull them. Sorry, they don't prove it, they won't do it.
Guess I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
all right, any discussion? Like I said, on item E, that's a parks issue and. Again, I talked, Paula was. Has been involved with that one, so. Did she have anything to pass on any comments or anything on that one?
No, it was approved unanimously at the Parks Committee. He was in favor, so.
Only I have my notes there. So, hearing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries 3-0. Item 5 is accounts payable. Item A is to authorize payment of the one-click bills dated November 26th in the amount of $2,057.66. Mark, do you want to make a motion to approve?
I can make a motion to approve on A.
And I will second that motion. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Motion carries 2-0. And item 5B is to authorize payment of the remaining bills dated November 26th for $574,371.43. And December 5th for $65,373.42.
The top five expenditures from the November 28th bills is City of Pewaukee for $184,541.50. US Bank for $154,713.90. That's our credit card, so just so you know, we are putting GFL charges back on the credit card, that's why that was so high. Waukesha County Treasurer is $70,669.14. Dana Dolan, $22,611.85. And Grand Associates, $21,260.94. And then top three expenditures from September 5th are Premier Building Inspections, $18,351.49. Kunkel Engineering, $14,634.14. And Pitney Bowes for postage, $6,900.
I'll make a motion to approve or authorize the payment of the remaining bills.
Like, I had that one item, but we can talk about that after the meeting, Dan.
Sure.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
All right.
Opposed say nay, motion carries 3-0. Item 6 is announcements and correspondence. Public Works and Utility Committee meeting next Wednesday, the 17th at 5 o'clock here at Village Hall. We already had the Plan Commission meeting, which would normally have been on Christmas Eve. And to note that all non-emergency village departments will be closed on December 24th, 25th, 31st, and January 1st. The next Parks Committee meeting is January 7th at 5 o'clock here at the Village Hall. And our next Village Board meeting is Wednesday, January 7th. At 6:30 here at the Village Hall. I'm not sure if you anticipate a quorum of the board tomorrow night's meeting. I'm guessing probably not.
So,
Okay.
I've heard, yeah. It might just be me.
Okay. That was the Hamilton meeting. Any other announcements or correspondence to note? All right, item 7 is the administrator reports.
So the tax bills were mailed out. I believe most of them arrived today in people's houses according to our mail delivery driver, so watch out for those. There is a change to the garbage route and we've put it on our website, and GFL will be handing out flyers on garbage bins the last 2 pickups of December, so watch out for those. It doesn't affect everybody, it affects 547 customers. So it's about an 1/8 of the village. And they're just moving one day here. Just little pockets that are being shifted on the map. And the new map is up on the website as well. The architecture survey came back. So we're going to review those questions and hopefully get those posted by the end of the week this week for people to make comments and suggestions on the parks. We did have a meeting with Swiss Tech today, and they're going to be working on a January submittal for the TID parcel in the January Plan Commission meeting. And next Wednesday begins preliminary audit work, so that's when the bulk of the audit work starts. We did some audit work about 3 weeks ago, and so then it looks like the bulk's coming in starting next week Wednesday. So that's my report.
Anyone have any questions for Dan? All right, let's move on to item 8, which is unfinished business. The request by Moonshiner Snowmobile Club to locate a snowmobile trail adjacent to village property.
So I did send the agreement to our village attorney. He came back with a few comments, some small revisions to the contract. Mostly just adding some language to kind of solidify that we're not liable. So he does explain in his memo that we are generally, municipalities aren't liable for recreational. type things, especially snowmobile trails. I did forward all the comments to, Moonshiners, and they're looking at it now. I did speak to, forget his name, but the person who sent this over. He was at a planner appointment today, so I was able to talk through some of these items. The one thing that I haven't heard back from is from the DNR. So Kathy had gotten approval from the DNR for this to occur at the same locations last year. I reached out to the same person from the DNR. I got a response saying that person's no longer doing it. So they gave me a new contact. I reached out to that person. I still haven't heard anything. I did send a follow-up email Monday and still haven't heard anything. So it's up to you guys what you want to do with this, considering we're not having another village board meeting. We could conditionally do an approval if, so long as the agreement is okay with the village attorney and if the DNR approves the location of the trail. Or we do nothing and wait until January board meeting, but I don't know how long it's gonna take for them to come back with a revised agreement. Or for the DNR to give us approval.
So is that adjacent to our property or?
It is actually on our property. It was agendized that way and we kept it that way because it carried over. We'd want to change it, but it is
Nice.
on that southern portion of the property.
Well, that'd be good if the lawyer's fine with it.
Yeah, and the DNR, I mean, because it was, I was reminded that we had some issues with the wetlands on that area, 17, when we were developing the fire station, so. If they're signing off on it as well, that would be.
Yeah.
But they did, it sounds like you're saying that they did sign off on this.
They did
previously.
sign off on it last year, but I want to get confirmation this year. It's a new year. And obviously, we want an agreement that the attorney feels comfortable with as well, so. We can approve it conditionally on those two items. But
I guess I'm a little bit confused on if this was approved and in place last
I
year
looked
or
at
not.
there was an agreement, it was signed by Kathy, so I don't know if it actually went to the board. It didn't say anything in the agreement that it would be approved by the village board. In Eric's letter, it does say that he would assume that the village board would be the one to approve it, but I don't know if the agreement went to the attorney at that time. So it's a kind of a smaller deal. I don't know. I wasn't here, I can't speak for it, so.
What is the agreement from last year with the DNR?
It was an agreement with the DNR, it was just the same Moonshiners agreement.
Right,
Yeah,
but there was no agreement with the DNR?
No, it was an email chain that I found in Kathy's email.
What did that say?
Basically that they were okay with removing smaller trees, no major trees. I think they had maybe a circumference of trees that they were allowed to remove. And that they didn't have an issue with the snowmobile trail, essentially. So it was just, they were more worried about what was being disturbed as far as the vegetation goes.
Do we know what was presented to them? Like, was a map, an aerial view?
I don't remember off the top
Cause
of my head.
In worst case scenario, they come back and say, well, yeah, we approved it last year, but that's not what we.
Well, I sent them new information. I gave them the map of where they're proposing and kind of zoomed in on the GIS map so they could see exactly where that area was. That had the DNR wetland areas marked on it, so they could see.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they used it last year or not. I mean, they may have.
I don't know if our trails were even open last year.
Yeah,
I mean, they might have been.
we
might have been
had
marked, I don't
snow.
know.
Day or two, I think.
Yeah.
So
Me personally, again, I was, I think further than everyone else was last meeting, but I'm fine with approval conditioned upon the attorney's review and the DNR signing off. Mark, do you want to add anything else, or are you?
I just don't want to get fined hefty again.
Well, I can forward the board a blank copy, you guys, any correspondence I get from the DNR, just so you guys have it in your records. I haven't received anything yet, so.
I mean, I get, Mark's point, I mean, being concerned, and I, to be honest, I kind of forgot about that from 17 years ago, the issues there. So, but I guess we want to be extra sensitive to that, so make sure that, yeah,
Who's
comfortable.
Fighting us.
I
DNR said it's okay.
Well, they said it was fine last time,
Oh,
and it's said, no, it's not.
oh, really? When you guys built the fire station?
I wasn't on the board at the time, but
No.
And that was,
Well, and there might be a difference between
Yeah.
actually building something and just recreationally driving through it, so.
I mean, part of me says we shouldn't rush our normal business just because this is a seasonal thing. I mean, it should be known to the club that they shouldn't look for approval within a month before the season opens.
Well, I mean, it'll teach them a lesson. We wait till January, so.
well, the lesson's probably already been taught, because I mean, just sure these trails were marked,
Right.
a decent amount of time ago. I even driven out there to see where I mean, there's a gap in between two spots, I would guess.
Yeah, well, driving through there, once the leaves fell, it was a lot easier to see kind of where the opening is. It looks like there was one that was made, so.
Is our concern that it dead ends at one point and then it starts back up at another point and people are going to just drive in between where it's not currently marked then?
I don't guess I'm not.
What we do is take the road.
Yeah, take the right away.
That would make more sense.
I think they're trying to alleviate going along the north along the west property line and then coming back down K.
Yeah, I think they just want to bypass that whole intersection. So, and they don't probably want to get in the way of fire trucks coming out, so they don't want to take the south end of the road.
And that's safest for snowmobilers and, I mean, people in traveling through that intersection.
Yeah, it makes sense.
The cars go relatively fast going down that hill.
Would we get fined or would the club get fined if they're the ones?
Define by the us.
For what? If the DNR fined us for whatever reason.
We're not, we just won't let them use it if the DNR doesn't approve it.
I know.
If they continue to use it without our permission, then
Well, then go for them.
we have to go after them for.
Yeah, I'm fine with conditionally. Satisfies my original concerns.
So subject to attorney comments and DNR approval.
One second. 1 second. I'll second. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed say nay. All right, motion carries 3-0. Now on to new business, 9A is discussion on necessary action regarding the possible termination of the conditional use permit issued to American Tower Corporation. And John
John and Myrtle Camden.
thank you, of the communication tower of the property located at W260 and 6035 Mary Hill Road. With Lisbon tax number 0257.071.
So this was before the board last month to initiate the process for termination of the conditional use permit. The tower associated with this permit has been removed, which is why the request to terminate came in to the village to begin with. Plan Commission did make a motion to recommend approval of termination for the CU. We have spoken with both the planner and the attorney, and they will draft the recordable documents upon village board approval.
Yeah. Member of the Planning Commission, you wanna make a motion on this?
I'll make a motion to terminate the conditional use permit issued to the American Tower Corporation and John and Myrtle Condon for a communications tower on the property located at W260 and 6035 Mary Hill Road. LSBT 0257.071.
That's subject to,
Subject to planner's comment.
Second.
it's- Any additional discussion? Right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Motion carries 3-0. Item B is discussion and necessary action on the request of James Henricks and Hometown Storage Solutions LLC, for the approval of a 4-lot CSM related to the redivision of the parcel identified as Lisbon tax key numbers 0161.999.010 and 0161.999.015.
Yeah, so this is a CSM that splits a parcel that was identified in a rezone exhibit for Mr. Heinrichs for for the Hometown Storage Solutions. He also added another parcel that will be phase 2 of that development, which is directly west of that parcel. There leaves another remnant parcel that that kind of swoops underneath those 2 parcels that has access off of a trying to think of what it's a right of way dedication essentially that has 3 different drives that come out of it. And that's to the west side of the entire parcel. So there's a shared driveway currently that comes off Highway Q to the south. There's the CSM proposes to dedicate a portion of that driveway to the village to allow for an additional driveway to come out to serve that awkward parcel, which would be lot 3 on the CSM. Really no changes to lot 4. There was an approval of a depth to width ratio for both lots 3 and lot 4 because they don't meet our 2.5 to 1 depth to width. And that's pretty much it.
one additional comment to make was that Plan Commission did approve the CSM subject to all of the planner's recommended conditions and the addition of more wording to condition number 2. The addition was, and staff concluding enough room for access around the wetland area subject to village code.
And part of that condition, I believe, is the delineation of those wetlands, which will then
Correct.
help them to identify that.
You can't do that in winter.
Correct.
Basically, as long as there's enough room to do like driveways through there.
And the recommendation to, there was one member absent, but it was a 5-1 vote.
Yeah.
Correct.
Do you have any, we've been seeing a lot of this, but I know you're familiar with it, obviously. Any
Did,
questions?
what did the PC say about the lot depth to width ratio? I know it's been
They approved
Like-
that waiver.
quite contentious in the past to deny those.
Yeah, so the lot 4 was already existing, so I don't think there was any issue with that. Lot 3 is a little different because it is self-made, I guess, that it was created that way. I don't remember what the vote was on
5-1.
that was also 5-1, so we did have one commissioner that had some issues with it, but I think the biggest part was being able to get access to that parcel. It's like 3, like a stairway, I guess. And so that's why we have the contingency on the CSM that can get access to it. Otherwise, the CSM doesn't get reported and he's got to come back with something different.
Is that access defined on the CSM for that property? The one that they need to get access to?
It's not shown, it's not drawn here. No, but it kind of follows that dotted line that goes around lot 1. Just north of the wetlands and then down on the one side of the house.
Step down.
This one?
Lisa, do you remember if that
That
was
was probably real long until we figure out how big that problem is.
if that was one of the
And they're gonna abandon this one.
Well,
recommendations
that's
from,
still for the houses down
then
there.
that be added?
Come on, also. You can only have so many houses on. a church
I'm looking,
road.
that's why I grabbed my notes from that meeting.
Driveway stands for these two.
The lot four, the new lot four will be served by the existing driveway.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't have more than 3 lots served by one driveway, so there's 2 residential lots in the south, and then lot 4. And then lot 3 is why that right of way designation had to be done.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing it.
James is here if you have any questions for him.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, it's the new CSM confuses it with. Um.
So the new 3 acre parcels have their own established access on the CSM. But then the issue with the lot 4 on the left side of the driveway right now, there's no house on it or anything. But that's where you can't have more than 2 homes on a shared driveway. So basically no one can build on it. And Washington County doesn't want to have another driveway come out for that lot individually. So having that dedicated T-turnaround, public access, it then creates a usable case for that lot 4. And thereby gets rid of that issue of potentially having 3 residential lots sharing one driveway. The 2 existing homes would share their existing driveway coming out the south side of that T-turnaround. The lot 4 on the west side could come out the west side of the T-turnaround. And then lot 3 has access via the east side of the T-turnaround.
So are we responsible for Public Works, not Washington County, because it's south of the county right away?
Is that a dedication to?
It would be
Washington?
to Lisbon, I believe.
Right, but that's a Washington County segment. So would we have to go up there and just plow a little too?
Probably would.
And we're gonna have to pay for the road?
No,
They
my
would,
understanding is
they would do the improvements and then dedicate it to us. So we would have to have a developer's agreement for that.
and I had already met with Washington County already regarding the access points, and they're on board with that plan.
Plow it?
To have the T-turnaround overlay the existing 66-foot easement. That's currently in place with the existing CSM.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, because we don't even go on that segment because it's Washington County. And
No, not
it's
really.
and it's county, so we don't have any. We don't have any municipal responsibilities west of 164. Until we get back to Lake
Like
5.
5, probably,
Mhm.
yeah.
So are we now sending our plow, just plow a little bit of the T. And maintain that road and then.
Yeah, I mean, unless we have
And then
some
eventually have-
agreement with the property owners there.
And then
that they
eventually have
can
to
do it.
replace it.
Are we up to?
I mean, they're not. I know they're not fond of, the undersized cul-de-sacs that they've been. Given, I can't imagine what they're. I mean, I know
Yeah,
like
they're probably-
Marchese Estates did the same thing at their terminus at the north end,
Yeah,
and it's. Not fun for Public Works to deal with.
I think there's a good number of those out there, right?
What's
Yeah,
that?
there's a good number of those out there that they're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine this isn't the ideal solution for the highway.
But I mean, yeah, because it's, I mean, it doesn't connect to anything.
So they probably take a small truck, come in, go in, turn around and come out. And yeah, I don't know what the closest road is. I mean, Lake 5, but then. To the south, you have. What is that one?
Hickory,
Hickory, yeah, probably the
I mean,
closest.
Riverview's on the east side of 164,
Okay.
but. They probably go in and go all the way through to Hillside.
Great, do we ask Washington County if they wanna just swing the plow in there? over
Ask them, I don't know that they're stopping on
there?
Q going 50 miles an hour, they probably give them straight shots.
I mean. Yeah, with the medians and everything else they're there, I mean, I don't know how they're doing it, if the roundabout to help, yeah.
I'm guessing they're flipping through at 35 and. Not slowing down.
I mean, I guess, yeah,
And two, what is the paved area gonna be? I mean, how wide is it?
It should be in your packet.
I know that little point to point, the one side's 51 feet and one side's 45.
Are you talking about the actual T?
Yeah, so I mean, there's 96 feet of right away. What's the paved portion gonna be?
I don't know if
No.
that's submitted.
I'm looking at.
No, it should be 90 feet. That 45 is not for that.
No.
No, the 38.32 is.
yeah, the 45, I guess, was a little bit further to the center line of the.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 60 by 90, but as far as what the width of the T is going to be at, that wasn't submitted. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, really, the T's not even drawn on here.
so if I may,
Oh.
Dan, when we met and discussed with RM2 and Mitch, there was a standard T-turn template that we were referencing.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
in our chapter, I believe chapter 20 of our code has that standard.
But I mean, if this normally was the concern, I was out plowing 12 hours a day, my brothers and I do snow removal in winter, in our company. And the intent would be that we would occupy some of the contractor storage space at this site. So, I mean.
Yeah, I mean-
More than happy with creating some type of,
I totally appreciate that, but
I'm just throwing it up
to,
there,
to allow private people
or I can pay for it, I mean,
to allow private people to publicly plow or plow publicly funded streets is a whole insurance nightmare.
I mean. if it's-
Because you guys would have to
Yeah, I understand.
secure your own insurance and we have to sign a contract.
But if that's the holdup of sending an additional truck out there, that way it's slightly outside of the route, I mean, I can definitely. pay an
And
annual-
I'm
annual
not,
fee
I
for
don't
it,
know
or-
what the route is up there. I mean, they very well could be coming up with 64 or,
And we have a smaller truck that goes out and, I mean, but again, I don't know how far away. Their normal stops that one would be, I mean, that would be the one that would make the most sense.
I mean, they'd have to work it out, I mean, but.
it's just odd. I mean, it's odd that we have it's just such a small piece to be publicly responsible for.
Yeah, I mean, it's the issue of adding more roadway. For the village to maintain more, to what benefit, so I mean. I think this solution we thought was a better solution than what was originally proposed, which was a cul-de-sac that was in between the two parcels that he was looking to actually use for his business. But it still requires dedication to the village of some maintenance, so.
And I mean, it's, so right now Washington County maintains stormwater responsibility for that. Now we are under stormwater, so any potential projects that they do, we're now on board for. Not that's huge, but it's always
Sure.
questions that need to be answered before. It's a big break up there.
Yeah, I think that part of the challenge was that the lot 999-015. That land use is different than the 999-010, so that lot couldn't really be adjusted besides there being a shared driveway on it. You know, you wanted to keep your land use lots separate from that lot to the west. So it was never going to be a great solution no matter what, just because the lot already, I mean, as it sits, that 999-010 probably close to the depth to width ratio being an issue just as it stands. So anything you do will create some type of oblong lot.
And what if we just made him put this in there as a private turnaround and that's what the case does? And override the driveway rule.
Then you won't have access to that
Yeah.
stair stepping lot.
Well, I'm saying do the plan he has here, but instead of dedicating it to us, just make it private.
You have to
That
have
still
access to a public roadway.
be an easement on an easement, which
Well,
you can't do.
Are those two houses staying?
That's their intent.
The 999-011 and the 999-003.
Yep.
Yes. Those are separate property owners.
Yeah, they're all relatives, same family, so they plan on staying.
And if I understand correctly, I mean, you're interested in lots 1 and 2 here, but you're kind of, what's that?
Yep.
Yeah, but you're kind, I mean, but you're kind of getting, you're obviously roped into doing everything here, and we've seen
Yeah,
the other
so-
property owner minimally.
Yeah, so the intent or one of the big benefits of that T turnaround overlaying that existing driveway access is resolving that current issue that stands today of those 3 residential lots and an unbuildable 5-acre parcel that can't have a house put on it because it's having 3 homes sharing, 1 driveway. So that's where the proposal comes in with that T turnaround, resolves that issue for the village. And then it's still, I mean, it still allows me access further down the road, at lot 1 and lot 2 via the access shown there, but the T turnaround is to resolve that issue of residential driveway access.
So is our rule 3 driveways per?
No, it's,
Are you sure or 2?
I always thought it was 2.
It's 2.
So
Well, now
what
it's-
is lot 4 gonna be zoned? Residential?
Yeah, the desired future zoning is rural residential,
And lot 3?
lot 3 is commercial.
Commercial.
3 and 4 were conditionally rezoned to B3. Lots 1 and 2 are and will remain R1.
Right.
wait,
Well,
I
backwards.
think,
Backwards, yeah.
The
Yeah, I have that backwards, sorry. Yes,
3 and 4. Say that again?
yeah,
The state residential, lots 1 and 2 were rezoned
yes.
for B, I think it's what B2.
B3.
B3. And actually, I think only lot 2 currently, right, is being
Yes.
rezoned B3, and then
Correct.
lot 1 is.
Lot
the
1 in the
second
future.
phase.
Mhm.
And Washington County won't allow, I mean, I wasn't part of your planning process, but they won't allow another access road to serve the current houses?
There's an existing one.
Right. What is if that, I mean, could there be 2 access points on Washington County's right away?
Well, there will be because of access to lots 1 and 2.
Yeah, you'll have it over there for the storage.
No, 2 for the residential portion.
Oh, I mean, that close together,
No, they did not wanna, add another residential driveway in that little strip for lot 4.
They just, flat out just said no.
That's what they told me. It's a pretty narrow section and it didn't want it to be up that way. Especially with the existing easements. Access that overlays their gravel driveway.
I mean. We voted in favor of this, I mean, there was, I mean, I think a larger focus was on lots 1 and 2 throughout the process, I mean, certainly everything was, I mean, part of the process, but. I mean, there's some new good points brought up here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a solution that we worked with James on. Because the initial CSM did have a giant cul-de-sac, I think, in lot 1, and then. Some type of easement that went through lot 2, which was not. Feasible, and it didn't meet our code requirements, so Oren mentioned I did sit on the phone and go through this with James and his surveyor. They could try to come up with a solution that would work, and this is essentially what. We were able to come up with without reconfiguring the lots to what he's currently having for his phase plan, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's no offense to you, but. We deal with the downstream effects of making bad decisions and now, a plan that seems good for you might. Cause downstream effects for us as far as,
So is the main concern the maintenance of it in the winter time?
well, yeah, it's maintenance and whose liability is it? It's,
And if we're doing the work, there's not a liability concern, but it would be the maintenance concern.
yeah,
So can I pay an annual fee to?
we currently don't have an ordinance that would allow that.
Okay,
That's what I mean, there's downstream things that. Practically you can't just say we're gonna do. Is there any exceptions to our code that allow for? Larger,
What maintenance fees or?
more than 2 access. Properties accessible. Under certain conditions.
Not that we saw. I know Oren looked at it pretty good and he wasn't able to find anything because this was not our ideal solution.
I'm sensing that.
Yeah, but no, we couldn't find anything that would allow.
That's saying I know how it was, but there's certain items that need approval by the majority of the people at the meeting, and there's other items that need approval by the majority of people of the board. Is the CSM approval the majority of the board?
It's just simple majority.
Majority of.
There are items, so, but
No, not on the
Not- not
CSM.
for-
Not a
CSM,
super
okay.
majority.
Nope.
So how can, I mean, how, have you talked to Nick? You have not talked to Nick about the maintenance side of it.
No, I have not. I mean, there are a lot of conditions to this CSM being approved too that need to go through. So I'll probably have 4 or 5 months talking about it until that time, but. I mean, certainly he's not gonna be thrilled about it. Say that, but.
I mean, I mean, it's not like you're trying to get this recorded by year end.
He's not able to,
Right, I mean, so if this was tabled till next month,
can't. We'd be past the deadline.
of what?
We have to act on it
We'd have
within
to
a certain
ask
number of
for an
days.
Extension. From the time frame that we have to approve CSM. So there's a state that timeline for when a CSM application comes in and when the board has to approve it. Was it 90 days?
Yeah. Sometimes
So-
Orin mentions them in his report. Let me take a look.
So if you go over that, then the petitioner has to request that you extend that time frame. So what you could say is that, you know, we don't feel comfortable, so if you don't allow us to extend that time frame, then we'll deny it. Which typically most people will say, yes, you can grant that extension for 30 days.
Is that,
So,
is that something we have to agenda though? He can't present it.
no, it would be something where James would email us and say, I'll grant the 30-day extension. But I don't know if that's something that you'd be willing to do.
I just a little surprised, I guess. I mean, with mention or a surveyor, this plan. Was voted on plan commission.
No, but Plan Commission is still just a recommending body.
Correct. Yeah. And just because staff works with you guys on something that, you know, is a solution doesn't mean that it will get approved. We're trying to find a way to make it work. So tabling it doesn't mean that we're denying it if you grant an extension to allow for more questions to be answered, you know, whatever they information they need. Do their due diligence, because once it's approved here, then it's approved in based on the conditions that board provided. Planning commission is a recommendation for another step, so it's a little different once it gets to the village board.
Do we know why that T wasn't added to the CSM?
It's referenced in here as being to our village standards, but yeah, it's not
It
displayed.
hasn't been, no, those plans have not been submitted.
Because without looking at the overlay of T, do we know that by by our code it fits in that 90-degree
Yeah.
width?
Yeah, it does.
It'll be
How come we don't have, how come we don't have the planner comment?
I can grab my computer and see what they can.
Yeah, I think the planner kind of did reference the T and the extent that it needed to be constructed, but
We'll probably have to meet the requirements of our template.
I think that's what it says. I just read that a little while ago again.
Below the picture. The petitioner is proposing to dedicate approximately 0.46 acres to the public for road purposes and to make improvements for a formal T turnaround, meeting the village design standards at the entrance of the existing shared driveway. Proposed lots 3 and 4 would have direct access from the new improved right of way, while the 2 single-family homes located on the south end of the proposed CSM would continue to have shared driveway and a 66-foot wide ingress egress easement.
like the design is 80 feet.
The T part,
The T part, yeah, and then the width is, or the length is 60 feet.
so that means we have 5 feet at the,
At each end,
at each end to put snowfall.
and then 60 feet is what they're proposing for the,
Actually, we don't even have that because we now have to, if those Ts are serving as access, we can't flush out somebody's access. Right? Because
I
Because
mean,
the-
if they don't have access to it, yeah, I don't know.
I believe the driveways would have access to. Not the top of the T, but like the stem. You know what I mean? Like the,
yeah, I'm not worried about the current homes, I'm looking at
Yeah,
lots
the
3 and
ones that-
4.
yep, so 4 would come off. Perpendicular to the southern. The center of that T, so the T comes down south from Q. One would be off side, but the other one would shoot off the other side, not in that turnaround section though.
But he's saying there's nowhere to
Yeah.
put the snow.
So if you got the T, the current residential properties are gonna be serviced by access on the current easement.
Yeah.
The ends of the Ts are what's gonna serve 3 and 4. So our plows can't plow shut somebody's easement, and our plows can't
Yeah, so.
plow shut the access to lot 3 and 4.
Yeah, I understand that concern, so the T isn't. To serve the function of creating driveways at the ends of those T sections. The main straight section that comes down south from Q would have the. Driveways intersect the side of it, and then the T itself is just for turnaround purposes. It's not to create driveways off the ends of those points.
Okay, I understand what you're saying now.
Okay.
And how long is that? Well, that's gonna be what? So that's 60 feet. What is the max or minimum distance between a driveway and the right of way for a T intersection? Because you can't put a driveway right to a T intersection.
Yeah.
If you come off a Q, you have. Actually, you don't even have 60 feet. What's the width of the fat part of the T gonna be?
40?
40, so you have 20 feet,
Well, 40 from center. So 80.
it's 40 from center.
Here, I'll give you this. Okay.
I'm sorry that the public can't see this, but. We need to have. We need to have 60 here. And 40 here. We don't have 40. We have 38.
No, you have 40. The 38 you're seeing is from that.
Okay,
So it's 90. It's his center, so it'd be 45.
so essentially, we're gonna have
You have 5 feet.
this. Yeah, 5 feet here, 5 feet here. But we don't meet. The. Is this 60 feet, where's the 60 feet from?
Probably from the start of the curve.
Cause this one, is this edge of pavement?
No more than 60 feet from the edge of pavement.
Well, I guess that's what I wanted. Cause
It's
this,
60 feet from the right of way.
cause this one, this is 60 feet from center, or 40 feet from center. So would that not in our case be 60 feet from center? Which we would have it then.
I mean, so some of the, I mean, so this here would have to be improved, and that's being improved in the county right of way.
So I mean, essentially, they would have to put the snow here and here. Cause they can't plow shut the easement. And they can't plow shut the access to lots 3 and 4.
Well, we had a lot of people look at this, but I mean, I guess Nick was not one that looked at it, so. We don't have, I mean, I understand the concern, so
So is the desire for more space in that dedicated footprints?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can ask, so I can't ask before that.
I mean, we can definitely provide more space to.
That would
It-
account
you-
for-
Then you'd have to go back to
Yeah.
plan commission.
so we can see if our DPW director. Can make this work if this is sufficient and. Again, and if he is, then I, you know, I think there's a path towards approval, and if he's not, then. Then I guess we put it, so I mean,
Is there a way your surveyor could show that T intersection on the CSM?
I can
So that we can, when I show it to,
There's ones, but
yeah,
yep. I can be like.
Yeah, cause
and that way
if
when
we,
it
if
comes
we
back to
approve
you
it, we
guys-
have to legally be able to service it. And.
so do you. At this point, desire to provide a 30-day extension,
Yes.
right? And so that's been made in a public meeting.
Still has to be submitted excuse me, has to be submitted in writing.
Do we know what the timing is before?
Yeah, not off
How
the
can we
top
move
of my
forward?
head, I don't.
Can we, let's just say that he sends it in tonight, we're all good, but if he doesn't send it in by the date that it's required, then we would have to meet before that date to deny potentially, or take action, or we could take action tonight contingent upon.
you could do either
A
one.
correct.
Yeah.
A 30-day extension would get us a couple of days past next month's village board meeting. I just don't know the exact date off the top of my head.
So I guess, you know, yeah, I think you understand where I'm going,
Yeah, so if you send an email to me tomorrow morning or tonight, just saying that I'd like to extend the deadline by 30 days,
Yeah,
so the village board can approve it.
we'd have
And we'll
until
move forward.
January 10th. Well, January 9th.
assuming that today was the date we
No.
had to act,
Yeah.
it might be.
So,
No, it's not. I want to say it's like 10 days from now.
So like,
So
maybe we'll find out.
add 30 days onto that and we've got enough time to the January meeting.
So. We could, okay, help me out here, so there could we, we'd have
just
Most-
I would just do a motion to table and we'll work with James on getting that 30-day extension in writing.
and if he doesn't provide that, then we're having a special meeting here next week.
I mean, I can do it right now. No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not,
The meeting's over.
I'm not too worried about it, because otherwise we have a special
Just
meeting
hold-
and then we would have to just deny it based on that we don't have our questions answered, so it's within his best interest as well to extend it.
So I guess where I was going was, we have a motion to deny, which would be withdrawn if we receive an extension request within a certain.
I think you just.
Yeah, I don't think we should. Yeah, I don't wanna say deny. I mean,
Yeah, you would either approve, subject to receipt of the information you're looking for. You could table to the next meeting, request that the petitioner grant a 30-day extension to the CSM deadline. And the purpose being to get the additional information you're looking for, or you deny.
Yeah, I'm more inclined for option two.
I mean, the CSM is not gonna be formally approved until the wetland delineation is done as well, so
Mhm.
we do have time as far as getting these things worked out.
Make a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to table this agenda item. The January 7th, 2026. With the request of. I guess the petitioner for.
Oh, wait, 1 second here.
But
Are we looking at, I mean, yeah, we read that wrong earlier, but are we looking at, that's the,
Oh, yeah, that's-
what?
the
Oh,
14th?
it should be the 14th.
Well, it was not on my calendar on the 7th. We just added that.
Yeah, I'll continue that. I'll. Take away the 7th, clarify it to January 14th, 2026. To the next regularly scheduled village board meeting.
So that 30 days long enough to do that though?
Yeah. it should be.
Yes.
It's 30 days from the end of the period, so if we have 10 days here, then we should be fine. All right, so there's a motion that
Table.
table, is there a second?
Yeah, we'll second that.
All right, so that's the non-debatable at this point, but there is an understanding that we would meet, I mean, that the property owner will grant that an extension. Because if not, I mean,
Then you'd have a meeting and you deny it.
so the motion to table until the next meeting. Can you meet before the next meeting?
I think we'd have to technically.
You'd have to, yeah.
So then, is it just
By
a
lack
simple,
of action, it would be denied.
is it just a simple motion to table?
Yes,
But then we don't need to specify the dates.
he's just specifying tabling to what date.
We're
Which
gonna
is typical.
We're gonna say the motion to table.
It is, but in this case, we know when we're gonna take. Action.
Yeah.
So
Unless
I would put the date on.
Unless we would want to meet next week to deny. Are you backing yourself in if you've said your motion to
Oh.
table until a month from now?
No, because we can just. Put it back on the agenda if we want to have an agenda in 2 weeks.
we'd have to.
Just stating what the next meeting is in our calendar, if we have a special meeting.
Yeah, your questions to clarify for locking ourselves into only meeting on one date for certain.
Right, as opposed, because if we don't get the extension, then we would meet before then, and the
So
motion was made to table it to a certain date that's beyond then.
I'll just
And-
amend that, say this motion to table and.
Well, because then at any point at any time, somebody can pick up a tabled item. On a scheduled board meeting.
Or you
Which
can
is the
just take
next
no
schedule.
action.
Yeah.
And by lack of voting on this prior to the deadline for approval or denial, it's a de facto denial.
I understand your concern, but I think the fact that it would just run out.
So you withdraw the motions and we're just gonna not take action, is that where, I think that's. Makes more sense for all of us, right?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. People use the phrase table incorrectly anyways, for
Yeah.
the most part. It's really deferring to the next meeting. It's not tabling it. So by taking no action, you're just keeping the agenda item on the agenda.
And it's gotta be a public zone.
Mhm.
So we're just going to our unfinished business. You can carry over. So I'm fine with you taking no action.
I can withdraw one more.
Are we withdrawing the motion and taking no action, or are we tabling it to January 14th?
Withdraw the motion.
Second, okay?
All right. All right, hearing no further discussion, we'll move on to item C.
Want to send me that? email?
Well, and then you're gonna have the guy put the turnaround on there.
Yes.
Where's the other T?
Discussion on necessary action regarding the determination under Wisconsin State Statute, section 66.0404. To be proposed class 2 co-location, the property located at N80W26020 Plainview Road, Lisbon tax number 0176.996.
We are skipping this item due to lack of submittal of the application.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So-
All right, all those in favor say aye. Or say nay. Motion carries. We're adjourned at 7:36.